Howdy, folks. Welcome to Sham and Covy's Emporium of Awesome. My name is Sean.
My name is Corey, and we are back continuing our watch of the Marvel Cinematic Universe retrospective. So we are doing a rewatch of all the movies for the entire Infinity War saga and comparing them to how they were the first time to how they are on rewatch now the saga's done. And if you want to check out the previous videos, we've done the first couple Iron Man movies as well as our last movie was Thor. So this week we are going to be reviewing Captain America, the First Avenger. So this is obviously the fifth movie. It came out the same year as Thor in 2011. Chris Evans, of course, plays Captain America. What did you think?
I think it's been. I really enjoyed it. I like the whole Captain America story. So I think I enjoyed this one. I think as much as I did the first time around. Like I said, I caught more little things in this and appreciated the characters more in this one because of where they go. But I think I enjoyed it as much as I did the first time. Like I really enjoyed it the first time, and I really enjoyed it again watching it now. So this time,
Yeah, I agree. I really liked this movie the first time it came out. And yeah, I think I would actually say that I might have enjoyed it slightly more, just slightly more than the very first time I watched it. And I
Mhm.
think, like you said, because of all the characters, not all the characters, but a lot of the characters continue on further, even though it's set in the past, a lot of the stuff comes back and comes back around.
Mhm.
Um, and the characters where they go and how important they become to the entire Infinity Saga and a lot of different
Yeah.
movies. This made me just. It was kind of like, yeah, you get that nostalgic feeling like, oh, look at Sebastian Stan, he was so young and innocent. Look, and
Right.
then obviously where he goes and his the recent Winter Soldier and everything. I was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, the first time around, I didn't even know who he was. Never seen him in anything as I can recall before this movie. Same with Dominic Cooper, who plays Howard Stark, Tony Stark's dad. In this movie, I didn't
Mhm.
know who he was the first time around. I thought he was just a dude that they kind of looked like he could be his dad when he was
Yeah.
younger. But and obviously they recast him in the later movies. Howard Stark. He's not Dominic Cooper in the later movies, but he went on to do Preacher, and he went on to do um,
Mhm.
he was in the Agent Carter series, and of course Haley Atwell with Peggy Carter. She goes on and does that series, which I really liked. So
Really
there's
good. Yeah.
there's a lot of characters in this where I just couldn't. The first time around, I was just like, oh yeah, okay. But upon rewatching it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was in this. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, I like
Mhm.
that character. Um,
It's cool to see where the characters are started off on something where we know they're going. Right? They're like, oh, this is how it started off. Oh, they're so young and naive, and then we know where they're going to be on. So it's like, wow, it's neat seeing the journey on stuff from where they all started, just the characters itself.
yeah, and I also think like rewatching this, like the fight scenes were really good.
Mhm.
Although rewatching it, the kind of hokey, kind of like propaganda-ish,
Oh,
like musical kind of stuff. I know
I
why they did it, but even rewatching it, I thought it was even cringier than the first
I
time.
didn't like it. Yeah, I'm like, did you have? I'm like, really? So you're telling me the government also who knows also that he is now a super soldier and can do all this stuff. You're going to do that with him. You're just because the general guy doesn't want to on stuff. You're not going to put him into the army somewhere. You're going to put him in the propaganda thing. I'm like, really? He's a super soldier. Like, he's strong. He's fast. Like, it's not like you don't know he has powers. And you're doing that. I thought that was unnecessary. And like you said, cringy.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. Like they wanted to have that kind of like wartime kind of
Yeah.
wartime era nostalgia piece in
Throw the
there,
ball.
buy war bonds and all that. So I get it. They're just kind of using it as a setting the tone of the not the tone, but like the era.
Yeah. I wish they
So
would have they wish would have put him into like the army somewhere. Like he wouldn't have put him in like the main group. He would have put him in like an off group somewhere else, and then he would have proven himself and eventually, or like saved somebody in like the main group or done something to get up there and like work his way up there and prove it. I would have liked that better.
yeah, well, I
Um,
mean, they kind of did that. Like he went in on his own and saved the Howling
yeah,
Commandos, which I didn't actually remember much of the Howling Commandos,
they're
but
cool.
rewatching it, I kind of hope that at some point we see like a Nick Fury in the Howling Commandos movie set back then.
right?
I
Like
don't
they
know.
were
It
good.
wouldn't be Samuel L. Jackson. It would be like the other Nick Fury, But
Oh, they were good. I like the abandoned group of guys and stuff like that for it. So I thought they were funny. Also, I thought everybody got along really well. It was great. Yeah.
yeah, and then of course we the villains like Hugo Weaving. It's a little sad that he never really came back for anything in the
Yeah,
MCU. I was
they
really
didn't use them.
hoping. I don't know. I think that was more of a conflict with the actor. Um,
Probably, like I say, I always liked him as an actor. He's a great actor, and I thought he did great. Like I said, he didn't do a lot in the movie, really. Like he did a lot of talking, and like when he was talking and doing things on stuff, he sounded cool and all stuff. And he sounded like a villain, and it seemed on stuff that he had good motive on stuff, and it was high stakes and that. So I really liked it, even though he didn't do a lot or fight a lot, really. But
yeah, but I mean
him
that's
as like a
always been
skull,
the Red Skull, right? Like he's never really been a like he's always been like a mastermind kind of
yeah.
character. So
Yes, man.
um,
I thought he was awesome, and I liked how they didn't. They, which are when I watched it the first time, I liked how they didn't wait till like the very end to reveal him as Red Skull. Like halfway through, they ripped it off, and he was Red Skull. I'm like, yeah, you get to see
yeah,
him. Lots of screen time.
yeah, and same with the other scientist Zola.
Zola,
He
yeah,
he becomes pretty important in the I think the Winter Soldier and another movie, the Civil War. He comes back, so more they kind of build his. Remember, he goes into the computer.
goes in the computer. Yep.
So that I liked him as Zola. Zola's a really weird character, so I'm glad they didn't go the comic route with him because Zola in the comics is like a guy with a big TV screen in his chest.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you know, in the movie on stuff, you can see a blueprint on stuff of that suit very briefly that he grabs and stuff like that. So they kind of hint at it, but they never go anywhere with it. So it's
yeah,
kind of neat that they just went with like in the computer type of thing,
yeah.
which was okay.
Um, Yeah, but I mean, overall, is it? What do you think? Is it better or is it worse than the first time?
Like I said, it was definitely not worse. I think I don't know if it was. I think it was the same for me. Like I said, I don't think it was. Like I said, it's very similar to other movies I've seen before, where you know where the characters are, so it's a little bit better and so because you know where the characters are going to go and that so it has that to make it a little bit better because you can look at the characters a different way and appreciate them more.
Yeah,
But overall, and so I think I found that I enjoyed it the same. I think not worse, not something like that, not substantially better.
yeah. Um, and then as far as it fits into the overall saga, in my opinion, I mean, again, it's one of those like you have to watch it because it introduces one of the main characters
Yeah, a
of
bunch
the
of
entire
characters.
saga. But it doesn't. It does also introduce the Tesseract. So this is the first time in any of the Marvel movies thus far that we've actually gotten an Infinity Stone. We don't know it in this movie that that's what it is, but the Tesseract is one of the Infinity Stones.
Well, it was in the teaser of or at the end credit thing also of Thor, right? But it
Oh,
was just
that's true.
briefly,
Yeah,
in there also like that to look at it, but you didn't know much about it at the time also. But here, properties of what it can do, and you see a villain trying to use it and things like that, right?
yeah.
So,
And then with Loki, which actually starts today, that as we're recording this,
oh right, I forgot about
Tesseract,
that.
yeah, the Tesseract is obviously plays a huge part in that. But the other
Yeah,
thing with this and the entire Infinity Saga is, although you don't technically need to watch this movie, I think, to understand the later movies in the saga, other than
yeah,
like setting up some character stuff. But to really get like the satisfaction payoff near the end with Captain America
yeah,
in Endgame, and the "I can do this all day" quote when he's fighting Thanos. And he starts out one of the first scenes you see with him is fighting in an alley with a bully. I can do this all day. Like the way
yeah,
they bookended it just made me appreciate this movie. I think a little bit more. Just thinking like, oh
yeah,
man, like it's so good that even back then, like he's Captain America, even when he's a wimp in the alley, and he's this not the same character, but he's still Captain America in essence when he's fighting Thanos at the very end, and it's kind of like this character, like Chris
yeah. Because
Evans.
like in that one, also like saying he didn't know everybody was coming, and he was going to stand there to the very end against Thanos, and right, so that which is what he does to the whole thing. He stands up to bullies, and that also he'll sacrifice himself like this one when he throws himself on the grenade, the
Yeah,
not
still
live grenade.
yeah, rewatching, still a fantastic scene. That
Oh, it's
grenade scene, I
great.
loved it.
Yeah, it shows you and stuff like that. Just the character of him before he became Captain America, like the one scientist guy played by Tucci or whatever, saying also it's not like man, it's his heart and that he was looking for and also for it. So it's really good. And also, there's a lot of cool scenes also with that, and I liked how it was in the whole World War background of the whole thing and that. And also, I really thought it was a cool like war type movie having it in it. And also, it was nice. It was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah. So overall, great movie. Definitely watch it. One of my probably one of my more I rank this movie pretty high. I liked most of the Captain America movies. Really, they rank high for me. And
Yeah,
rewatching this, yeah, it's still near the top so far. But we're only getting into the end of the first phase here, so
yeah, I know.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Captain America: The First Avenger?
So I'm trying to think of anything else other than the propaganda thing that I didn't like in it. I don't think there was. I think that was the only thing else that I didn't care for. Other than that, also I thought it was a great movie. I thought it had good comedy. I thought it had good pacing, good story, good characters, all that stuff. And yeah, it was really good. Where I would rank it and stuff like that, though, compared to the other ones now, I like it. I'm trying to think. I know I like it more than Thor. Where is it for the Iron Man's though?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Do I have it on some ahead? I'm probably having a bit ahead of them. I think. I think so.
I think I would as well. I think for me it goes Thor, Iron Man 2, or sorry, it goes Captain America, Thor, Iron Man 2 right now.
Yeah.
So, which is funny because Iron Man 2, I really, really enjoyed rewatching it, and now it's still in this retrospective, it's still on the bottom for me again. Actually, Thor might be below that. Actually, Thor might be the
I
least
think
so far.
Thor's below both Iron Man for me and stuff like that. I still enjoyed it, but I rewatching it and also I really enjoyed Iron Man 2 and stuff like that. And I think this Captain America is a little bit better than it, just a little bit, just because I really like the Captain America story and character and certain characters in it and all stuff like Captain America and Bucky, things like that, and the Red Skull. Having a good villain also always puts that up there for me, and that
Yeah,
with movies. So, but yeah, well, I really enjoyed it. Like and yeah, really good.
yeah, great. Well, uh, this has been our retrospective on Captain America: The Winter Soldier. No, the First Avenger.
Not yet.
The First Avenger. If you liked the review discussion, hit like and subscribe to us. Let us know in the comments what you thought if you rewatched this recently compared to the first time around. And we will see you next time when we cap off Phase 1 with the original Avengers movie.
Yes, let's see also if it's as good as we remember it.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous to watch Avengers. I remember it blowing my face off when I watched it the first time, and I don't know if the hype is still there after watching some of the other ones. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it too.
yeah, well, we'll find out next time. All right,
Okay,
thanks, guys.
thanks.